Hello Aquarius friends, my name is Annie Botticelli and welcome to my December 2019 horoscope report for you. You can see lots more free things I have for you on my websites, anniehelpsyou.com, with lots of astrology blogs and other goodies, and cozy by sweetstarlight.com with written horoscopes, an astrology for wellness sector that is very jam-packed with awesomeness to help you with all of these aspects to make everything the best for you. Okay, so we have a month that is dominated by Sagittarius energies and Capricorn energies. So our goal is to talk about how those energies interact with Aquarius energy so that it will set the tone for the month for you. Also, we want to look at the houses or fields of experience that are being graced by the planets. Every planet is like a person. It has a personality. And when the planets convene in a sector of your chart, it's like a party or a gathering of some sort. So to understand the type of energy and the type of people, which is the planetary archetypes at play, it gives us a better idea of the picture, the astrological picture. So I'm going to show you charts to give you some insights about the visuals, about the things I'm going to describe specifically for Aquarius. But in order to make the most of that information, I really have to give you some information about the general transits first, because there are three really important things to know about this month of December that are going to flavor everything else that we talk about that's specific for Aquarius. So let's look at those general pieces right now, the top three must-knows for this month, and then we're going to switch back to talk about these Aquarius pieces that are going to be completely relevant for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you this quick overview of the general energy of December 2019, and it's really critical to understand this before we start putting in the pieces for your sign, because it will flavor the whole month, and everything that we talk about that's specific for you is going to have these three big pieces that are just overlaying everything. Okay, so there are three main things to know about December 2019. The first is that we have way more sweet aspects than salty ones. This happened also in November. It definitely flavors the month when there are more sweet aspects than challenging ones. You know, your individual chart could vary, because you could have a challenging time going on in your chart, and then the general horoscopes could be like super sweet, and you could be like, well, the horoscopes are wrong, and they're not. The general horoscopes, your personal charts, are all individual pieces of a very complex total picture. But just talking about the general transits, there's definitely more sweetness this month than there is salty stuff going on. And I will give you the dates for those sweet and salty aspects. Big thing to know about this month, time to get it done. December 9th is when the post-Mercury retrograde transit, Mercury went direct on November 20th, but every day after November 20th until December 9th was this kind of Mercury waking up, changing directions. I kind of see this as like making a U-turn. You know, if you're facing going one direction, you have to slow down, come to a stop, make the turn, go speed up again. Okay, so this period of time between November 20th and December 9th is like coming back up to speed. All right, but from December 9th through February 2nd is the last major open window of all of 2020. 2020 is a year that is entrenched with inward and backward energy from personal planet retrogrades. Mercury, Venus, Mars, all going to be going retrograde. Mercury will be going retrograde 3 times as usual. And this is just going to be a very internal, with themes from the past type of year. So your time to like push things out in a big way is December and January, and you've got awesome aspects this month to do it. There's a massive Capricorn influence, which is also helpful here, because there are just so many planets in Capricorn, outer planets, the ones furthest from us, inner planets, the ones closest to us. So it's a time to strategize, get things done, get organized, make plans, you know, just like really take the bull by the horns and to do things. There's also the Sagittarius influence, which is going to make a dizzying, busy, you know, all over the place, spiral, spinning out, exuberant type of energy, which is really nice as a counterbalance to this very serious Capricorn energy. So we do have those Sag influences, and those are going to be coming in a big way, bringing some lightheartedness and optimism and fun to this otherwise very, you know, focused time. The third thing to know is that the eclipse energies are really, really happening now. Okay, I've been talking about these for months before they actually happened. because they can actually show up as major manifestations in months before they happen. But this month we have the December eclipse, which is December 25th or 26th, depending on your time zone. But the whole month, you know, and before December even and after December, major changes. So to see how this is going to affect your sign, very specifically with great detail, watch my November report for your sign. Okay, because in there I talk about all of the details of exactly where you are on the spectrum for your sign, and how that will manifest for you. I did a whole separate video series, a whole 12 set separate video series for the January eclipses. So look for that, you know, look for your sign, lunar eclipse 2020, Annie Botticelli, and you will find these very detailed storylines of how you are very likely going to experience those eclipses, what areas of life are going to be highlighted for you. Okay, now the last thing I want to do here before we get into more specifics with your sign has to do with the sweet and salty dates. Okay, so the sweet aspects, 2nd, 3rd, 8th, 10th, 13th, 10th, 11th, 13th, 15th, 19th, 21st, 22nd, 24th, 26th, and 27th. And I've got them written down here. Okay, the salty ones, 8th, 11th, 13th, 19th, 22nd, 23rd, and 26th. You'll notice some of these are in common. So there are many days this month that there are sweet and salty aspects on the same days. Okay, so you can either, you know, try to align your things with the days that don't have those same things going on, or you can just feel your way through. An aspect happens on a certain day, but our timeline for how we can experience it can be days before or days after. So you just have to kind of feel your way through. If you're like planning a big launch and you're having a crappy day and it's just not, things aren't flowing, maybe wait until everything feels like, okay, 1, 2, 3, now sync up, you know. It's really important for you to learn to feel these rhythms for yourself. I teach you this and give you guidelines, but you're feeling your way through is my main goal. Okay, so those are the aspects to note. Now let's look at these juicy details about how your sign-specific energies are going to show up. Okay, so now we're going to look at this chart. So I'm going to do a split screen here again where you can see what I'm looking at and talking about. Okay, so the first thing to know is that we have a massive amount of energy in Capricorn. Okay, that's what we referred to in that general piece when I said that there's a lot of Capricorn. So these Capricorn planets are going to be interacting with each other. They're going to be interacting with other planets. And so there's just going to be this strong focus on strategizing, getting things done. But we want to look at how that affects Aquarius. Capricorn energy is really different than Aquarius in many ways because it's an earth sign. So it brings the practical daily pieces of action to the Aquarian thought processes. Aquarian energies are really great at looking at the bigger picture and in having a very vivid discussion of things to do and ideas about things to do. Then when the planets get into Capricorn, it forces this action. There's a little bit of awkwardness to it, but it forces action. So that's something, now you see I'm using, don't let this throw you off, I'm using the early degree chart, but the things I'm going to talk about this month are actually true for all Aquarius placements, unless I tell you otherwise. Sometimes I'll differentiate out, like if there's something that really looks different depending on where you are in the Aquarius spectrum, I'll show you those things. But as I will also show you, this month there are the three main areas, wait, 1, 2, 3, there are 4 main areas that are accentuated for Aquarius this month, and that's true for all placements, okay? So this is, everything I'm telling you is true for everybody. All right, so there's this awkwardness where you actually have to put your money where your mouth is, okay? So you have these ideas, now's the time to do these things. The second thing to know about this month is that as the planets are in Sagittarius, they kiss all your Aquarius placements. So that's a beautiful, harmonious, you know, air and fire creating each other in this or fanning each other in this beautiful way. So you definitely will have the breath of inspiration, you know, lots of jovial connections from those sweet aspects, and times where the bigger picture is coming in this more crystal clear way, and then the legwork of how to bring that bigger picture to being is supported by those Capricorn placements. Okay, so that's happening for every Aquarius. The next thing I want to show you, and for this I'm going to show you the 3 charts just so that you can see. So this is the early degree chart. Early degrees is basically, you know, and I'm not going to give you all the details about how to break this down this month because everything is true for everybody. But the point is, the first 10 days or degrees of the sign is early. The second 10 days or degrees of the sign is middle. The last 10 days or degrees of the sign is late. But the early chart has the 12th house, 11th house, 10th house, and 9th house accentuated. Okay, we're going to talk about what that means, but I just want to show you why it's the same and why we don't have to differentiate this month. See middle degree chart, 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9th. Then even when we look at the late degree chart, you all at the end will often have a very different picture than everybody else, but not this time. 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9th are being accentuated for all of you. Okay, so just wanted to give you the visual on that because I'm an astrology teacher and that's what I do. Okay, so now we want to talk about these players involved, okay, and these places where they're congregating. Mars brings action and energy, can bring conflict, but can also bring outcomes and solutions. Mercury brings communication and expression. The Sun brings creative insights and puts a light on. Okay, so I don't want to throw you off. Again, we're using the early chart, but I'm talking about this for everybody. So the Sun brings light and vibrance and like a spotlight. Basically, there's this giant spotlight on, you know, wherever it's focusing, and then you can see the cobwebs, so you see, okay, we need some room for improvement there, and you can see the beautiful colors, you know, that a beautiful light brings to the room. So the Sun is there, you know, these outer planets. Jupiter shows expansion and benevolence. Venus shows us love, beauty, money. The South Node, Saturn and Pluto, or all I call them the triad of karma there. They're definitely bring karma for better or worse. And those are outer planets, so they're there for a long time. When we're looking at horoscopes, we're looking at, you know, the things that change are these personal planets, the Moon, the Mercury, the Sun, Mars, Venus. They're going to change pretty quickly for the most part. But these outer planets, they're just like dogging in one area of a chart, you know. But in any case, we see everybody over here just like congregated together in these houses. So let's look at what these houses are all about. So you can see where the parties are being held. And in some cases, they are actual parties because some of the energies, you know, Sagittarius, it's fun, it's festive, it's lighthearted. And then some of the congregations are more serious, like strategy, business planning, you know, trying to get things organized, you know, doing taxes, you know, trying to get just important concrete things put in order. Okay, so talked about 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9th. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay, so the 9th house being accentuated brings this energy of Sagittarius as well. That's the Sag house, and this has to do with writing, publishing, speaking, teaching, so educational programs, international business, different countries, different cultures, different languages, all are being brought into the forefront for Aquarius. The 10th house is the house of work and career, your place out in the world. Okay, so jobs, raises, you know, lateral switches, launches, new businesses, new lines of work. And for those of you who don't need to make money, or for whom that's not an issue, you're placed out in the world. So you're showing up with your gifts, like what you came here to do, and just kind of showing up with them. The 11th house that's going to be brought into focus for Aquarius as well has to do with friendships and how you relate to friends, social media, in-person groups, online groups, communities, anything involving the internet. So internet launches, you know, anything with social media and having a presence there. It's an amazing time for launches for things like that. It's also an amazing time for book launches, by the way, back in that 9th house. So communities, technology, forward thinking, anything having to do with humanitarian efforts or community-based things. That's coming in the forefront. The 12th house is also coming in. Now for you late degree placements, so the ones at the, you know, towards the end of the sign, so here is a place where it makes sense to differentiate a little bit, okay? So if you are a person who has your birthday like between February 11th and the rest of the sign, or if you know your degrees, you're watching for late degree rising sign or moon sign, Even, you know, all of my reports are good for you, whether your moon or rising or sun is in Aquarius. So you late degree friends, you're not going to have as much of this thing I'm about to talk about with the 12th house. This is going to come for you soon, very soon, but it's not quite the theme yet. Okay. So the 12th house has to do with your inner world. I always call it like the attic or the basement. It's like this, you know, this dark internal place where everything is. Everything is there. Your family heirlooms are there. You know, yucky, gross things are there. Your fears, addictions, you know, karmic soup, for better and worse. You know, your ancestral, anything, all of that. The karmic collective is all in the 12th house. So this can bring up a lot, when there are a lot of aspects here, it can bring up a lot of fears. It can bring up a lot of, pieces that you have to get through in order to get the life of your dreams. And you'll see this for all of you. This starts to congregate before birthday time, like in the weeks before birthday time. Things start getting really focused in that area to help you see the things that are standing between you and the things you want, so that when you have your birthday wishes, then you can use them to work with clearing up these these problems. But the 12th house has to do with rest, things behind the scenes. It can have to do with artistic pursuits, like kind of you imagine the quiet artist in their little loft, you know, just quietly painting or whatever. It's like that kind of energy. It can also be like a house of inner work. Since fear and addictions are there, things having to do with hypnosis and, you know, inner work psychology would be very fruitful as this 12th house gets accentuated. Okay, so those are the main themes that are coming up where your parties are. Definitely have to get in gear. At least if you can't do your launches now, strategize to utilize January, because January is going to be that last month. There are going to be some little bubbling ups of potentials at the end of March and at the end of July, where if you have to place something important, a big launch or something, you'll be able to slip it into those places, but it really doesn't have the same oomph and zest as this December-January time. Okay, so you have to take full advantage of that. So definitely go to my website, AnnieHelpsYou.com, so that you can sign up for my free email newsletter. And when you do, you will get, remember those dates I gave you, the sweet ones and the salty ones? Well, I give a write-up for my email list, special for them, every month, a month early, all the sweet dates, all the salty dates, what aspects they are, what planets are involved, what signs are involved, and what you can expect from those combinations, plus a little general overview written of the month. You get that delivered to your inbox every month, a month early, when you go to AnnieHelpsYou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter. It will look like this. And you will also get my 28-day virtual coaching program called Shine for free when you sign up there, plus other free goodies. If you love how I teach and you want to learn, I'm an astrology teacher. That is my main focus. You at AnnieHelpsYou.com. Besides seeing a massive amount of astrology and other blogs on that site, you can see my astrology apprenticeship program. And if you want to learn how to be an astrologer and make money doing that, I can teach you how to do that. I have people often coming out of my course, even before the course is done, already earning money as an astrologer. So massively comprehensive. If you think my videos are detailed, you should see my astrology apprenticeship program. So you can see that at AnnieHelpsYou.com. And for written horoscopes by me, a month early, and lifestyle blogs, including an astrology for wellness blog that is massively, again, comprehensive, go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. And these links that I'm giving you are all in the notes underneath the video. So if you click on more, then it will be there and you can just link straight through. cozybysweetstarlight.com. It's such a beautiful site. Just go there even just to see how pretty it is. And the last thing, get my book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days, with amazing, powerful, radical prayers, mantras, affirmations that will help you claim the life of your dreams. You can get that on Amazon. You can search for Radical Prayer Annie and you'll find it, or you can go to radicalprayerbook.com. It's an amazing handbook for my fellow spiritual seekers. My husband, B.R. Newman, also has all kinds of goodies, offerings, new things all the time at his website, IamHelios.com, IamHelios.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye!